And we should bring in another old friend, Hans Olsen.
Why are you going to take a shot like that?
BYU football radio analyst, a young friend.
Oh, right.
Who is looking as studly and manly as ever as he prepares for another loaded football season. Let's go. Hans, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic, boys. How are you guys doing?
Ready. Can game day be tomorrow, not in a week from tomorrow?
Well, game day for me is today. There's a big game. Lehigh's up here at Desert Hills, so I'm actually in Cedar City on my way to Lehigh Desert Hills. So big game day today, but big day coming up in about, 8 days now?
Yes,
that's right.
8 days away. And now fall camp has officially ended. So let's just go ahead and summarize it all with one question. What were your top takeaways from BYU football fall camp?
That we still don't know exactly what's happening with the quarterback situation. and until we do, we really need to settle in on something and figure out exactly what this offense is going to look like and who's going to be leading it. So some questions to be answered there, boys. And, I was thinking about this, just putting some thoughts together for my show. It really doesn't matter who they decide. I think against Southern Illinois, we would probably see both of them anyways. It really should be a 28 to 32 point game somewhere in the end of the third. So you should see both quarterbacks regardless. And I actually think that might save the staff a little bit in having to make a tough decision and really stand by it. They can probably maneuver a little bit more with this Southern Illinois game. I know that everybody thinks the Salukis are going to be good, and they were picked fourth in their league. And I think that they checked in at number 11 or number 12 in the FCS polls. But if you go through it, they lost their quarterback. They lost their 1 and 2 running back. They lost their number 1 wide receiver. And they've lost a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball. So Southern Illinois should be a really good opportunity for Kalani and this staff to see what they've got at the quarterback position. But that's what I came out of camp with, was nobody really separated themselves.
So you want to see both regardless of what happens, whether one guy's crushing it or not? You would like to see both quarterbacks against SIU?
100%. 100%. I want to see both these guys. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see some type of quarterback rotation. I know that you guys have been listening to Camp Sound and talking with Aaron Roderick and talking with Kalani Sitake. You can tell they're very pointed that they haven't put that to bed. If they got to play two, or if they can play two, if they want to play two, they'll play them both. And I don't mind that against Southern Illinois. I don't want to see it against SMU when we all head to Dallas, but I don't mind it against Southern Illinois.
Hans Olsen of KSL Sports Zone. He is the BYU football radio analyst, is with us on BYU Sports Nation, working overtime. He's down in southern Utah trying to watch his kid play some football, but he's kind enough to join us. And let's just go there. If you had to name a starting quarterback for BYU against the 11th ranked FCS team in Southern Illinois, who are you giving the nod to take the first snap?
It's going to be Gary Bohannon. That's who I would give the nod to. And I've seen enough of it that I feel like his stature, his over-the-top traditional throw, his pocket presence, his athleticism, his experience in this conference just feels like it's all a better fit to go and lead this offense. So I would give Gary Bohannon the nod, but I know people feel like Jake Retzlaff has another year of experience. So if it's close, give the guy that could be the next year's starter, give him the start. I know there's a lot of different reasons behind Jake Retzlaff, but I've just felt like Gary Bohannon is the more readied leader right now, and you just can't mess around. This BYU team can't mess around in this season. They need wins, fellas.
Speaking of, we both predicted a 7-5 season for BYU, ambitious to some, in particular in the desert of Las Vegas, who predict 4. What say ye?
I don't think you're far off. I think 7 would actually be a great season. And as I've learned more and more about this team, I've actually become more and more sure that they're going to find themselves in a bowl game. I think they're a 6-win team. And that's with them beating Baylor, Central Florida, Arizona State, Houston, and then splitting SMU Wyoming. I actually think they lose to SMU and they beat Wyoming, and then the Southern Illinois game. So there's your 6. I think all the other games are going to be really difficult. And what you need to see from Kalani and his staff is be extremely competitive in that rivalry game. If they can sneak out a win against an Arizona or one of the Kansas teams and get himself to 7 wins, I actually think that we should put him on our shoulders and parade him around a little bit, because this is a very tough schedule. If they get to 8, extend them out to 2045. Like find that crazy Kevin Young money and throw that at Kalani and shower him with it, because 8 wins on this schedule is really difficult. I was going over Kansas's schedule yesterday with Brian Haney. He's the play-by-play voice for the Kansas Jayhawks. And Kansas plays one of the other 4 ranked teams. Now, they're one of the 5 ranked Big 12 teams in the top 25, but they play one of the other 4 ranked teams. BYU plays all 5 of the top 25 ranked teams in the Big 12, and it is a daunting task to try to find yourself to 7 wins. Guys, 7 wins on this schedule, it says a lot about Kalani. 6 wins and go and show well in a bowl game, maybe get yourself to 7-6. I think you got to be happy, and you got to feel like the direction is headed on the right path. So, and again, I continue to feel more and more optimistic about this BYU football team as I learn more about them.
Hans, again, carrying off of what you just said, you feel like BYU is a better team than maybe you initially thought because you've learned more about them. So what are you most confident in at this juncture?
Well, I'm really happy with what the offensive line is doing and what they're saying. I'm happy with Connor Pay owning up to what happened last year. I'm really happy with Waylon Lapuaho back and Braden Kime back. I'm really happy with this offensive line. I'm happy with the fact that Caleb Etienne has taken it upon himself to get himself physically ready, losing weight, building mass, getting himself more strong, more ready for this offense. So first and foremost, I love a lot of the conversation, and I love what I've seen already through camp with this offensive line. That's given me a lot of hope. Secondly, I have never in my life, and I've been covering Jay Hill on air for 18 years, I've never seen him fail, boys. Last year was the first time I actually saw like a little bit of a hiccup. Where is that Jay Hill defense? Where is that consistency? He doesn't know how to fail. He can't fail. And I feel like he's going to get his safety room together. I think we're going to see Tanner Wall, and we're going to see Alfrey, and we're going to see Micah Harper, and we're going to see the talent that he feels like he needs at that safety position to be successful. So my belief in Jay Hill, what I'm seeing from the offensive line, regardless of what happens at the quarterback position, I feel like LJ Martin is going to be a fantastic running back. And my hopes and my optimism just continues to climb as we get closer and closer to kickoff.
Jay Hill's the man. He's the next head coach at many schools nearby here, potentially. Would have been at Utah had he stayed there, probably. Morgan Scalley been named that. Utah State's certainly going to be calling him and interviewing him, I would imagine, once they figure out who the guy is after this season. So we shall see. Regarding the defense and your old position, defensive line, will BYU have a better pass rush this year, and why?
Oh, man, that's the tough one right there, guys. That's the tough one right there. They're right now, they are running it back with pretty much the same talent. And that actually wrecks my guts just a little bit. But I do feel like moving Blake Mangelson into the defensive tackle position is going to be a huge advantage. I am one of the biggest Blake Mangelson fans. I might start a fan club because I love the Mangler. He plays like some of those 1990s defensive linemen used to play. I like Big John Nelson, and I like his push. So I like those two. I'm hoping to see a lot more from Isaiah Vania. And I hope that he took it upon himself, just like Caleb Etienne did, to get himself better, get himself ready, because 1 sack or 1.5 sack is just not enough from that position. I was talking to somebody about Tyler Batty, because I'm also a big fan of Tyler Batty. I do think he's a 3 technique at the next level. If he wants to move into the NFL, I don't think he's a traditional end. But I do think, and I think we're going to see him play some 3 technique this year defensively. But I was talking to somebody about, how do you get that half step faster? It's not even a half step, it's a quarter step, because he had 19 pressures on pass attempts last year and ended up with 5.5 sacks. So you ask yourself, how do you get a quarter step faster? And I was talking to a longtime defensive coach at the college level in this state, and he said it's not about him getting a half step faster. It's about making sure that the middle is pressed. It's making sure that the bookend is pressed, and that quarterback has less than a half step to step away from Batty. And I thought, oh, yeah, I mean, that's just common sense. It's the guys around him. If Banya or Latui or Schoonover and Nelson and Mangelson, if they do their jobs, Tyler Batty should be a 9 to 12 sack defensive end for BYU this year. So that's what I'm expecting, boys. And if I don't see the sacks coming, then I say bench them. Find the guys that want to go get the pressures. You think about how great Jacob Robinson was last year, and there were quarterbacks that were able to sit. And those corners, Eddie Heckard and those boys did amazing work, masterful work. And we wanted to be upset with the safety position because everybody was injured. And, you know, everybody wanted to blame Crew Wakely and wanted to blame. And it's like, no, get better pass rush. Take that time away from them. That'll bump Jacob Robinson's interception opportunities. It will bump Tyler Batty's opposite in sack opportunities. It will increase the safety production. You got to get the pressure. So sorry for the soliloquy here, but that question hits hard. And you can tell I've done some deep thinking on it. It actually sits on my mind late in the evenings. I'm worried because it is the same talent, but I'm optimistic because Jay Hill don't fail. They brought in Gary Anderson, longtime Utah State head coach, Wisconsin head coach, Oregon State head coach. They brought in Chad Kawaha, who has been working with the defensive line and a lot of their techniques and rushes. They've got Sione Pua. They got Kelly Popinga. For crying out loud, it's the dream staff, guys. How could they possibly fail?
Let's go, Hans. We're always here for a Hans Olsen soliloquy, especially when you're in Cedar City, which is home to the Shakespearean Festival. It only makes sense, Hans. Right, let's go.
I'm going to stop by.
Let's go, man.
I'm going to stop by.
Hey,
I know they got you a safe seat there, Stan.
Yes, say hi to
sack or not to sack.
Say hello to Bill Shakespeare for us. Enjoy watching your son play football tonight, and can't wait to get season going. Thanks, Hans.
Can't wait. Love it, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Let's go, Hans.